It's the Bruins Benders Podcast, Season 5, Episode 10, Offensive Struggles with Maddie and Smitty, brought to you on the Inside the Ring Podcast Network at InsideTheRing.com. You're joining us live on YouTube. Hit the thumbs up and subscribe to get your comments in there. Tonight in this episode, we will discuss the Bruins' lack of secondary scoring. It's finally catching up to them. Can Morgan Geekie really score 50 goals? I'm going to go over some of our own Team Canada and Team USA Olympic roster suggestions. All that and more right here on the Bruins Benders Podcast. Will follow us each on X at Benders Smitty and at Mr. Matty Barry. I'll tell you what, after a 7-game win streak, Bruins 2-4 in their last 6, a rather difficult West Coast trip. The trip ends in Long Island coming up. Injuries maybe catching up to them. The fact that they played a little bit over their heads catching up to them. Really difficult stretch coming up. And by New Year's Eve, you're halfway at 41 games. By then, we'll probably know what this team is all about.
Yeah, you should. You should know by then. Probably know before then. The offensive struggles are certainly starting to catch up to them. I believe out of their last 6 goals, Morgan Geekie has 5 of them.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what you're looking for as far as balance and secondary scoring goes.
No.
You're not getting the same type of offensive production from the likes of Mikey Asimonts of the world. Arvidsson's hurt, so that kind of takes away from him, as well as Middlestat. Those were 2 guys that were playing pretty well before they got hurt. So that could be a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody's going to get injured in the NHL. Injuries happen. It's a condensed season. So you're seeing more injuries, I feel like, because the games are closer together. People don't have enough time to recover. So depth is really going to be tested this season. And the Bruins don't have much of it. And it's kind of showed here lately, especially, with McAvoy out, their right D is very lacking outside of McAvoy. So they have a lot of issues here that are kind of starting to catch up to them that have all kind of gone their way early in the season. And, it's not trending in the right direction for them right now.
No, I mean, they escaped the injury bug the first month or so of the season. And then all of a sudden lost a couple of forwards, top 6 forwards in Arvidsson and Middlestat, lost McAvoy. And we said early on, like, they can't afford to lose, some of these important guys. And then they lost like 3 of them. And that's been really difficult, I think, for them to manage. You can do it for a couple of games. Guys will step up. But after a while, it wears on you. And right now, I just think that, their lack of depth is really showing up, big time. They had a bunch of, bottom 6, 4th line candidates at Providence, but they've got nobody really they can't juggle lines and bring guys in and out to really fill the top 6 gaps. I mean, Hustadinov's done an admirable job, but, even he is starting to hit that kind of wall as a top liner or second liner. Doesn't produce all that much. Does some good things, but it doesn't lead to production. And, that's just, leading them to kind of start to slip down the standings here. And it's going to come quick. I mean, there's teams behind them who are more talented than them, the Panthers of the world. And they said, like, these teams are going to be jump over them. And, I just think that they're going to be like in the bottom 5 of the Eastern Conference when all is said and done.
Yeah, that's probably where they'll end up. And it's probably where they deserve to end up based on the roster they have. I mean, the roster's not talented. We've said it all along. They never really addressed the secondary scoring. Sweeney kind of let that go. And they don't have a lot to show for, the drafts the last, handful of years that he's been here. So they had a lot of catching up to do between free agency and the draft and development. They're pretty far down the list. And I feel like I don't know if they've hit bottom yet. I mean, last year was a really bad year, and this year has been better because they've been healthier to a certain degree, and Swayman's definitely played better. You know, and they have some draft picks that they got last year that you could look at and say, oh, maybe down the line. But for as far as the NHL club goes, you know, do you feel like they're on the way back up? Because I don't really feel like that yet.
No, I mean, look, you've watched these other teams, and they have these pretty dynamic young players, and the Bruins don't have, really any. Like they have a bunch of veteran guys and kind of guys they plugged in.
Sure.
But they don't have, looking at even, you look at Celebrini and those guys, but even other guys that are pretty good young players, and the Bruins really don't have those guys. So as I said before, last post game, like they're just maybe just above average, just above mediocre, kind of hang in, maybe get the playoffs if everything goes right. But they're in like middle zone. They're in like Mediocreville right now.
Yeah.
I don't know, unless Hagens and Letourneau and some of these guys, or they get a high pick this year, like it's going to take 3 or 4 years for people to see the Bruins as, okay, they have a couple of young dynamic players. Right now, it's just like you can't just throw a bunch of guys together every single year and expect to make the playoffs or even contend for the cup. Like, I'd like to see them win the Stanley Cup. I mean, that's the purpose.
Yeah.
So I don't want to see them maybe make the first round and get bounced every year like you did in the 80s. Like, I don't want to see that. No. I'd rather see a team heading toward a trajectory like the San Jose Sharks that's going up, and not just kind of along the middle.
Yeah, I San Jose is a perfect example. Like, I feel like they're on the way up. They have good young talent, and they were really bad for a while. And look, even when Celebrini and Will Smith and some of those guys got there, they're still bad. So even if Letourneau and Hagens and Will Moore and Zellers and those guys all turn into something and all come in the next couple of years, even if they show up, say 2 years from now, and those guys all are pretty good players, it's going to still take a few more years after that until they establish themselves as NHL veteran, type of players, and consistent NHLers.
Right.
So you're talking about 4 years from now, maybe you're on the way up. I mean, that's what I mean. I don't know if you've hit bottom yet. Like, you have to wait for all those guys to come.
Right.
And
so then you're bad again a couple more years.
So you have a good young nucleus, and then you have to wait a couple more years till those guys are actually, seasoned veterans a little bit, until you can actually start winning. Like, that's what
might be 4 to 5.
Say. Like, those guys were there, but they weren't winning yet because they, you're too, you can't have 22, 23-year-olds and win in this league. It doesn't work that way.
No, it doesn't.
Unless you're, a Celebrini and a Will Smith or a Connor Bedard or a Leo Carlson, where you come in and you're dynamic right away, and are surrounded by a bunch of other dynamic guys, which the Bruins won't have. Like, they haven't been picking in the top 5. No. Those teams have all picked, and the Celebrini was the number 1 overall pick. Will Smith was 4th. Leo Carlson was 2nd or 3rd or whatever he was. Like, they haven't picked that high for that many years to be able to have guys like that as the nucleus of their team.
No, and you look at a guy like Tyler Seguin, like he was drafted, but he walks into a really great team, like a great team of great players. Like, but that was kind of an anomaly. Like, had a 2nd overall pick, but you had this juggernaut team. So he comes in as a rookie and he wins the cup, but it wasn't because of him. No. You know what I mean? He joins a team that's toward the bottom. That's not a great team. And he's a minus 35, and it's, that's just how it works. But, San Jose actually is playing better right now than I thought they would. Like, I still thought they would be like toward the bottom, but the young players are playing good. Their veterans like Toffoli are playing pretty well. Their goaltenders playing well.
Well, they're
starting to go up.
Yeah, I mean the goaltender is a big thing there. Like Askarov was a great trade by Mike Greer. Look, everybody was killing Greer a couple of years ago, killing the guy for some of the guys he got rid of and some of the moves he was making. But he stockpiled draft picks. He made some shrewd trades and brought in, a young goalie. He's got a real young team. He's got some veterans there too, Tyler Toffoli, and even some young guys who have been on other teams that have kind of blossomed a little bit. So he's got a pretty good young squad there. But he has, some veteran defensemen. And so, they're kind of building it the right way. And I'd love to see the Bruins go in that kind of direction as rather than missing the playoffs by, 3 or 4 points.
Yeah, I mean, they tried to go the way the Caps did a couple of years ago and try to kind of reload and and it worked a little bit for the Caps. But even now the Caps are 12-9. Like it's, then it's just not sustainable, and you have to keep making like really good, shrewd moves to stay atop there. And Bruins are we've said this before, Bruins are in a real bind. I think people don't see it as that right now because they're 13-11. They played a little bit better than you thought. But at the end of the day, their handwriting's on the wall, and it's almost like they're pacifying it, and they're kind of kicking the can down the road, and they're trying to just stay above water. For the fans and for the prices and for watching fucking Nesson and all that stuff. So, but hey, it's just gonna be a tough road, and I think that the wheels are gonna fall off a bit here. And my prediction of not making the playoffs, I think, is 100% in line right now.
I think you're solid. You're on solid ground.
I'm on solid ground. It was a little shaky there in the beginning, but it's just not sustainable. Friends.
No.
All right. Get your comments in. We have some here. Welcome everybody. Good evening, Dan Maynard. I think it's evening. I don't even know. What is it? Friday there? He's here.
Yeah, I think it's like next Tuesday there.
Yeah, it is. Bruin, the boys are working hard. Bruins 1970. We're a Tuesday night bender. We got a game Wednesday. We had a game Friday. We had a game Saturday. Look,
we just moved it up. We just move it up a day. We got a game on Wednesday. We move it up to Tuesday. That's how we roll.
So we get it done. Yeah. All right. 7 Trips, sponsored by Lops Brewing. Lops is a brewing and tasting room in downtown Woonsocket, Rhode Island, specializing in small batch ales and lagers. It's open 7 days a week. Use the code SPORTS to get 10% off your online order at lopsbrewing.com and follow them at Lops Brewing for new beers and events. If you're in the Woonsocket, Rhode Island area, hit up Lops. Good seasonal beers there. Number 1, Darren Dreger says this. I just can't believe that you couldn't get something back for Johnny Beecher. And the reason I say that is a number of teams that didn't know, apparently, that they were going to put him on waivers. Like, do you not put out that call? Look, what are you going to get for John Beecher? I have no 7th pick. I mean, maybe we're circumcising a mosquito here, but wouldn't you at least throw it out there? I really think that they thought that they would just under the radar slide him in there and hope to God no one sees it.
Sweens
and just doesn't, don't claim him. Like it's like they tried to slide him through. I just don't get it. Like obviously Sturm didn't like him, and they don't tell anybody they're going to put him on waiver. Like I mean, try to get something. Get a 7th round pick. Someone said on X that Emmett Finney is a 7th rounder playing like second line on the wings. Like you might hit. I mean, instead of getting nothing.
I'm at a loss. Look, I never really cared that much for the player, but I've said all along that they managed the asset poorly. Mm-hmm. That's where I fall on the thing. They managed it poorly. Like you could have sent down Jeffrey Viel and no one would have claimed the fucking guy.
Nobody, of course not.
Okay. So you could have done that and held on to Johnny Beecher. Now, if you don't want to hold on to Johnny Beecher, the least you can do with a fucking former 1st round pick is throw a fucking phone call out to the rest of the GMs around the league and say, hey, do you have any interest? We're looking for a 6th. And if they say, oh, no, maybe a 7th. Oh, yeah. Okay. We have someone else ready to offer us a 6th. Yeah. And maybe you can get a 6th or a 7th or a 5th. I don't know. Whatever. Maybe you can get anything. for a former first-round pick. And if Sweens thinks that other GMs just won't do their job, like they won't look at the fucking waiver wire on a random fucking Monday, whatever, like he doesn't think people do that.
Maybe he doesn't do it enough.
Maybe he doesn't do his job, but other GMs actually do their fucking jobs. And look at that stuff and say, oh, the Bruins waived Beecher. He's a former first rounder. Maybe we should take a chance on him. You know, he can skate like the wind. He can't do anything else, but he can skate like the wind. Let's take a chance. And he's claimed by the first fucking team. First team. Out of the gate. Out of the gate. Claimed.
Dreger seems to think that other teams are ready to go. Like, I don't get it. Like a short little bidding war, like you said, to get to a sixth or maybe a fifth next year or something. Like something.
I feel like they could have got something for the guy. I mean, look, I didn't love him, but I feel like you could have got something in return. What do you got, Connor?
You 100% could have gotten somebody else's disgruntled prospect or a player with a new scenario going on instead of just nothing. And that's really the point to me.
Yeah. Maybe there's a former Sturm guy somewhere that played for Sturm that's disgruntled, or a guy that Sturm likes on another team that maybe the Bruins could have taken a shot on that would have fit what Sturm wanted to do better than Beecher did. I mean, you can't tell me that they couldn't have gotten a fucking seventh or, you know, an AHL guy from somebody. You know, instead of letting the guy walk for nothing. You can't tell me that. So it goes back to me to poor asset management, which is what he's done a lot through his fucking tenure here. A lot.
He has done it a lot. And again, I think his best thing has been trades to add to a former core. And he's done fairly well with that. Other than that, I just don't understand his plan. I don't understand what he's doing half the time. I really don't think he knows how to build a roster. I think he's just biding time all the time. And I think it's just trying to save his job over and over and over again until finally he backs himself into a corner and they got to fire him. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen unless they get lucky somewhere on a lottery pick or Hagens is a stud or something happens to save him, because I just see him backing himself into a corner. And that's just to me, I don't understand why you don't try to get something. Again, a seventh round pick, people say, well, it would just be a seventh rounder. Maybe a seventh rounder hits, you know, or, you know, maybe. You know, you haven't done it at all, but maybe the law of averages comes along, or a sixth rounder, you know, maybe. But
Swayman was a sixth rounder, wasn't he?
He was he was fourth. He was fourth. But there's been sixth rounders in the league that have played fairly well. I think there's a guy. I think there's someone on this team that was a sixth rounder, wasn't there? Wasn't Arvidsson? Was he? Like four, I don't know, but look, it's a chance. It's a shot at it's a lottery ticket. Yeah. It's a shot at it. You know what I mean? It's not just letting the guy go for nothing. Like, I don't know. And I'm with you. Like, I was ready to be done with Johnny Beecher, and I, you know, was in line to drive him to the airport. But can we have somebody else? Like,
I mean, I don't have a problem with them getting rid of John Beecher. Like, I don't think he offered anything to your team. I just feel like that there was, because of the tools that he has. I thought there would be other teams that would be interested. So they should have made the calls to these other teams and see if they could get something back for the guy.
Yeah,
that's all.
I mean, just make the call. Just just throw it out there and say, hey, we're looking right now. Like Beecher right now, 3 games. 0-0-0 -1. I mean, it's what you expect.
Sure.
But if somebody else wants him and gives you a little bit of a something, okay, you know, we'll take it. But that just seemed very almost lazy, lazy and misdirected. Like it was just kind of Sturm didn't like him, so get rid of him. Well, make a few calls. You know, I don't know. Maybe Calgary gives you a 7th. I don't know. All right, Chirp 2, is the Bruins' lack of secondary scoring finally catching up to them? I say 100%. Like, especially with injuries to your other forwards. Like, this is just exposing what it. Look, we said this. Like, Cole Koepke came out and scored fucking 5 goals in a week, and then didn't score again for 4 months. Like, it's going to happen. So it's just these guys aren't going to score. Mikey Eastmont's not going to score 25 goals. So you have to rely on your top six, and it's just not enough there, especially the second line without Middlestat and Arvidsson.
Oh yeah, 100%. You know, you have a few. The depth is so bad. You get a few injuries, and they're sunk. You know, it's just right now. It seems like it has to be Pastrnak or Geekie, and if they don't score, no one's scoring. Which is kind of what we thought might happen this year, honestly.
Right.
You know, Arvidsson was a question mark going into the season. He's been a little better than we thought. You know, he still kind of drives you crazy with the, you know, hitting the 1-Ts and snapping his stick and around with his head cut off. But you know, he makes things happen, and he's scoring some goals. You know, and Casey Middlestat since the scratch was pretty good. You know,
he was pretty good.
Setting plays up. And no coincidence, but Zacha was playing pretty well when Middlestat came back and was starting to pass the puck pretty well. Like, you know, Zacha could use a guy like that.
He should. He could.
You know, he kind of misses them. And then now they have the check line here going. It looks like, again, maybe, as far as warm-up lines go and or practice lines go. And I just don't love that. Like, I'm kind of done with Blumel at this point. Like, I don't think he's much more than a 4C, 4A guy, whatever, AHL, you know, all-star. He just doesn't offer enough to me. So I'd really like to get one of those guys back. And I'd like to see them keep Pastrnak and Geekie together, I think.
I ultimately, that's what makes Geekie great. Like, Pastrnak makes Geekie great. You know, and that's what needs to continue to happen. To me, you need to get that second line right. And if that's Zacha going forward, fine. But you need two, like, pretty good offensive players who put the puck in the net, because Zacha's just not – he's not a finisher. In road games this year, Pavel Zacha has a goal, 4 assists, and is a -9 on the road. So, you know – some of that is because he lost a couple of line mates.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they got to go back to Geekie, Lindholm, Pastrnak on line 1, and when Arvidsson and Middlestat are healthy, you go back to Zacha, Arvidsson, Middlestat on line 2.
And then your third line's been okay.
Yeah, your third line. They've had offensive zone time, and they've had good shifts where they've made things happen, but they just haven't produced. So I'm fine with keeping those guys together because they've been good. And then you can spin the wheel of fortune for the fourth line. To me, it doesn't matter, honestly, who's on that line to me. It really doesn't. Like, I don't think Corrali belongs on it. To me, I would put Nutty as the fourth line center, honestly.
Yeah, and I would slide Jeannot down there, and I'd try to find someone to play third line left wing with Kastelic and Minton. And have Jeannot play in the fourth line with Kusadinov and who the fuck else? I don't know. Whatever. Tufty, whoever. Steve, Stuffy. I don't know. A combination.
There's so many guys. That's what the problem is with this team. There's so many guys you can put there. There's so many guys.
And that's what I said a million times. Like, if you have like a bunch of guys who do the same thing, it's hard to pick the right guy that night. You know what I mean? Because maybe Tufty goes in and plays great and scores a goal. But maybe he goes out like the other night and plays 8 minutes and can't find his stick. Like, so then you go to the next guy. Like, it's hard to pinpoint who's going to give you what you need that particular night because there's no separation. Like, all 6 guys are the same. So, and of course, they're going to rotate them in because they have to match up the fourth fucking, right wing who plays, 8 minutes. But we're gonna needle that. We're gonna put a fucking yarn through the needle.
Yeah, we gotta have a speed guy for the 8 minutes that he's out there.
Yeah, he's gotta. Yeah, that'll really match the speed of.
It just doesn't make any sense.
No. And they, they're what are they 5-7? They have a losing record on the road, and a lot of it has to do with the matchups. Like,
sure,
the other team's matching up against your mediocre talent.
Yeah.
And they're taking advantage and winning those games. At home, you can manipulate. You can finagle that.
Sure.
And you can maybe steal a win here or there, and they have against the Avs, against the Canes. They have. But on the road, that's a real bitch to try to do that. It is. It just is. Chirp 3. Can Morgan Geekie really score 50 goals?
Yes.
I think right now, it's not that small of a sample size now.
No.
Like if you're talking like the last 100 games, it's not that small a sample size. It's people are still treating him like he's flash in the pan. Like this has been a while that he keeps fucking scoring goals.
It has been a while, and he's still doing it. And his shot is elite.
Yes, it is.
People can question, hey, where did he come from? He came out of nowhere. He has an elite shot. He has the 2 hardest shots in the NHL this year, I believe. Still, 102 and change.
He does.
Both him.
Yeah.
You saw from that back angle of that slap shot he scored against against the Ducks there. The top corner. High blocker.
Yeah.
Like he's got an elite shot.
He does.
So I don't know why people would think he's a flash in the pan at this point. He's been doing it for a long time.
No, he has, and he's got 17. He's got 17 goals. He can. He also has 3 from long distance. I think he was tied with maybe Jason Robertson or someone who had the most from long distance. Like he scores from mid and long, which not a lot of guys can do.
No,
like he scores from a distance. Like 11 of his goals are from outside, like from mid or long. They're not like near the net. Like he can just snipe. And that's, you're right. That's something that's sustainable because he keeps sniping. I mean, he can snipe from anywhere. You're going to score a bunch of goals. If you're a plugger grinder near the net, maybe you go dry. But, of course, with Pastrnak playing with him and setting him up, and I don't love the fact that Pasternak's looking for him every fucking second. I'd like him to score some goals, but he's looking for him all the time. And, he's scoring goals. And he's the only one because he scored 5 out of the 6.
He did
on the West Coast. 5 out of 6. Like, so, I just think, and this talk about him in the Team Canada, like, I don't know why you wouldn't consider the guy. Like, and people are just saying, like, nah, there's no way you wouldn't consider the guy. Like, he scores goals.
That's all I'm saying. I think his name should be in consideration. Look, I know Canada has a plethora of guys that should make the team. I know they do. Mm-hmm. They could probably make 2 teams that would be fantastic. But you can't tell me that Morgan Geekie shouldn't be on fucking Team B if they were making 2 teams. You can't tell me he's not one of the. You can't
tell me he's not an extra forward.
Yeah, you can't tell me he's not one of the 45 best Canadian players.
I mean, he's got to be. He's got to be. He's scored the most fucking goals.
Year plus, he's top 4 in the NHL in goals. So you can't tell me that he's not one of the 45 best Canadian guys. You just can't. I won't believe you. I won't listen to you, and I don't think you know hockey at all if you're telling me otherwise.
In fact, he's top 4 in the league, but he's probably top 2 of Canadian players. Like that's not all Canadian players. Those 4 guys.
No.
So
one of them is Draisaitl, and the other one's Pastrnak. So there you go.
There you go. He's top 2 Canadian.
Right.
Yeah. So it just irritates the shit out of me. People are like, really? Like, okay, Mark Scheifele, okay, great. But why is Geekie any worse? And then they say, well, he's not a well-rounded player. You mean to tell me all those Canadian players that you want on your team are great defensive players? Mark Scheifele is a great defensive player. I've never heard that. I've never heard anybody say Scheifele for Selke. Go ahead, Connor.
I heard that it's really nothing to do with Geekie personally, but the GM for Team Canada is just not a fan.
Yeah, he's not a fan of his own player. Yeah. Well, hey, maybe he just doesn't know that he's Canadian. I don't know.
That was
maybe Geekie sounds like he's from fucking Minnesota. I don't know.
I know. It was a joke, Connor.
Yeah, we get it. Thanks. All right. Chirp 4, Team Canada Olympic roster. So we both put up what we thought would look like a Team Canada Olympic roster. All right. So here is what we had. I had Celebrini, McDavid, Point, Bedard, McKinnon, Stone, Marchand, Crosby, Scheifele, Tavares, Suzuki, Geekie, and then Bennett, Horvat, Johnston. It's extra forwards, Taves and Makar, because they're a great pairing.
Yes.
Morrissey, Schaefer, Chikrin, Bouchard is who I had, although Bouchard, he's had his problems, especially defensively. And then Montour and Burns extra, and then Kemper, Allen, Jari.
Yeah, I like it. I like your list.
I just think that those goalies are actually some of the top goalies in the league right now. Jari's had a pretty good year.
I didn't think Jari was Canadian, but maybe.
Yeah. So that's a pretty good. That's what I kind of think.
Kemper. So here's mine. I'm riding with the Nova Scotia guys. So we have Marchand, McKinnon, Crosby, Marner, McDavid, Stone. I like to try to keep pairs of guys that have played together before. Thomas, Suzuki, Point, Bedard, Celebrini, and Scheifele. I want Bedard and Celebrini together. I think that would be dynamic. And then extras, I have Sorelli, Geekie, Bennett, and Reinhardt. So I'm going to Taves and Makar as well because of the pairing. Morrissey and Parayko, Theodore, and I'm putting Matthew Schaefer on the team because he's too good to leave off. And then Doughty, Thomas Harley, and Noah Dobson. And then Thompson, Hill, and I hate Bennington. So I'll take Bennington off and put Kemper on there instead.
Saw a little bit of talk today about Bennington and Edmonton and that connection that could be happening. Because St. Louis is, they hate their coach, they hate their team, they hate their players, they hate Jordan Kyrou, they hate everybody. And Bennington, who we hate, we hate with them, could be going to Edmonton.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, wouldn't it be? Like, could Bennington catch fire again? Have that kind of, horseshoe up his ass again for Edmonton? Maybe.
I mean, look, he was really good for Team Canada in the Four Nations thing. He played really well.
Look, I hate the fucking guy.
Yeah,
and I don't think he's that great a goaltender.
He's not.
But when it's been nut cutting time,
yes,
he's shown up. He's been pretty good.
He does.
Yeah,
he shows up when the chips are on the table.
Yeah,
he does. And I hate the fucking guy too, but and I think his teammates hate him. I think everybody hates him. I think his wife hates him. Kids hate him. I think everybody hates the guy.
Yeah, even Monty with his hands in his pockets can't stand the guy.
Yeah. I mean, he's probably pinching himself every time Bennington tries to do something. And inside his pocket,
in his ball sack because he got his hands in his pockets.
Yeah, he pinches his ball sack. Like, Bennington doing shit to drive him crazy.
Oh god!
But when it's time, he shows up.
Yeah,
he does.
He does. He really does. All right, and then Chirp 5 Team USA Olympic roster. So we went through and tried to put together a U.S. roster because we're not part of the Good Old Boys Network. Nyes, Eichel, Connor, Brady Tkachuk, Matthews, Boldy, Caulfield, Jack Hughes, Tage Thompson, Matt Tkachuk, Jason Robertson, Clayton Keller. Then I had Schmaltz, Tuck, DeBrincat, and Cooley. Then I had Werenski and McAvoy, Quinn Hughes and Faber, who was excellent last time.
Yep.
They played internationally. Hannafin and Jake Sanderson, and then Slavin and Luke Hughes and Adam Fox. And then I had Hellbuck, Ottinger, and Swayman, which has kind of been the Olympic kind of three.
Yeah, those are the Olympic three. And I think they'll be the Olympic three again this year for Team USA. No doubt about it. My team, like I said, I like to go with pairs. So I have Tkachuk, Eichel, Tkachuk, both Tkachuks on the same line with Eichel. Nyes and Matthews played together, put them with Kyle Connor. Caulfield, Hughes, and Boldy all played for the national team development program at the same time. So I put those guys together. Tuck, Robertson, Tage Thompson, and then Schmaltz, Keller, DeBrincat, and Cooley. Although I think instead of Schmaltz, I think I want Dylan Larkin in there.
Okay.
Who's having a really good year.
He is. Yes.
And then Werenski, McAvoy, Quinn Hughes, Brock Faber, Slavin I have instead of you with Sanderson, and Hannafin, Luke Hughes, and Fox, and then same goalies. Slavin's really good as a kind of a shutdown D man.
He is. It's very good.
And I think Sanderson provides some good, puck moving and offensive instincts. So I think
and that's true. The thing about Fox is similar to Bouchard is that, Jesus, sometimes defensively,
you're
just not getting what you need from him. And Werenski's been a great defenseman as well.
Yeah, so, I think at this point in his career, I think there's guys that have passed Adam Fox by.
Yes, they have.
So,
they have. And what I noticed about Canadian defensemen, like, they're getting kind of old. Like, I was really struggling. Like, the U.S. has better defensemen. They're developing better defensemen than Canada is.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, with the exception maybe of, a guy like Schaefer coming in and
Schaefer comes in and Makar.
And Makar, obviously. I mean, I think as a group, as a whole, I think the U.S. has better defensemen. But as far as top end talent goes, it's still it's still Makar. It's going to be Schaefer. Those
guys are going to be better than the rest of the U.S. Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could say, Quinn Hughes and you could put him in that same kind of category, but he hasn't been great. He was hurt last year a little bit. This year he's been pretty good, but he's not playing really at the same level that Makar and Schaefer are, at this point in time.
Right. Chirp 6, CNBC has the Bruins 6th in their worth among the NHL teams. They slipped behind, I think it was the Kings and somebody else. Can they start their own network, do you think, with that money?
They should start their own network.
Yeah. We get away from John. I tell you what would be great? I mean, it won't happen because Jeremy Jacobs doesn't give a rip. But if they would have their network, $9.99 a month, and it was just the Bruins network, the Bruins Hockey Network, and they had old games, they had Behind the B, they had coaches interview, maybe Sturm had a weekly show, some player stuff, like marketing the players, and then had the games, the pregame, the postgame, like all of it, like just on that network for like $9.99, $11.99, whatever it is.
Yeah, and a podcast
on it, like ours. Yeah. Like a daily podcast.
Like a daily podcast. That was
hey, Eric, we know you listen sometimes. Yeah. Just think of us when this happens. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, let's do. I mean, I'll tell you what. That would be great if the Bruins. I'll tell you what. A lot of people would buy that network. A lot of people would.
They would. $10 a month. And if the stream didn't fucking cut out every fucking.
Oh my God! It would be like heaven.
It would be. It would
be like heaven.
Look, if we were on the Bruins, Bruins Sports Network or whatever the hell it's called, Bruins National Network. I don't know. I would kiss some ass. I would kiss some ass on that show.
Oh yeah, I kiss a little ass. Yeah,
not all the ass.
No, but I kiss a little ass. Yeah,
a little bit.
I still tell Henry Hockey he's a fucking asshole.
Yeah,
but I they beat me out there.
Some lines you can't cross.
No, sometimes you can't. I can't cross the picket line on Yoki Haru.
He says, "Bring back WSBK TV 38."
Yeah, and the movie loft after.
Yeah, bring the movie loft back. Little Dan Hershey action.
Oh God, that was great. Remember when it was fucking TV 68 with fucking Doug Brown. Fucking, Jesus, and his jowls. Yeah. That was WABU. Remember that?
Yeah, WABU. I do.
BU's TV station had the Bruins for a hot second.
Yeah.
All right, Chip 7. Who would you rather have? We're gonna play would you rather?
Would you rather? Okay.
Geekie, Pastrnak, McAvoy, Swayman.
Yeah.
Or Horvat, Palmieri, Schaefer, Sorokin.
It's Bruins.
That's Bruins.
It's Bruins, and it's not particularly close.
It's not. Take Schaefer out, and it's really not close.
It's not close at all. The only, I mean, I think, look, the Bruins forwards are better than Horvat and Palmieri. Palmieri's like 100 years old too.
Yes, yeah.
Geekie's 26, Pastrnak's 29 or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's easy. McAvoy's a good defenseman, but he's not Schaefer.
No.
So I think Schaefer gets the win there. And then the goalies, like, I think Swayman's, if not as good as Sorokin, is certainly, right there. Like, that's a toss up, I would say, if you were being kind. I mean, Sorokin's probably been a little more consistent over time than Swayman has, and has done it as a one, which Swayman really hasn't done. But I would say they're pretty even. So I think it's pretty easily the Bruins. Schaefer will give you pause, but it's pretty easily Bruins. What do you got, Connor?
Well, let me fix this scenario for you to make it a little more difficult, because Kyle Palmieri on this should be a fucking crime. Yeah. So to be
he's on the top line right wing right now.
Sure, but I'm going to give you a little more sexy scenario here, okay? It's Geekie, Pastrnak, McAvoy, and Swayman, still for the Bruins. But Horvat, Schaefer, Sorokin, and instead of Palmieri, Matt Barzal.
I think it's still the Bruins.
It's still.
But to me, Barzal has not been the player I think people thought he'd be. Like, I think they thought he'd be dynamic, 80, 90 points, like that guy. He's 60-point guy. And he hasn't been there. So I'm going to go. It's closer.
Oh, definitely
with Barzal, but I still go slight to Bruins.
I'm with you. I think it's still the Bruins.
Let me ask you a secondary follow-up. Where would you rank Matt Barzal for centers on the current Bruins roster if he was on our team?
I would probably rank him first, yeah.
Okay, then fair enough. And you guys still picked the Bruins, so
I did.
I guess I'll take it.
Because I do
not have a
goal scorers. Because I'll take the 250 goal scorers.
Yeah, I mean, Barzal right now this year is 6 goals, 11 assists, 17 points. He's a +7, which is better than pretty much anybody on the Bruins. So he's having, he's had an 80-point season once. And 80-point season twice. And a couple of 60-point seasons. So, he's better. He's better than what you have.
He's better. But I got to keep those 250, 50 goal scorers, I think, when all is said and done. Slight. I mean, it's slight. And the goalie's a little bit better than the other goalie. So, I mean, it's a nut here, but I take the Bruins. And at the end of every post game, when we look ahead to the next game, we're going to do this game with their top 4 and the Bruins top 4 and see how many of those 4, because this is it's essentially the core. Is the 2 good forwards, the defenseman, and the goalie.
Yeah.
So let's see whose cores are better than.
I like it.
All right, so let's get to the comments. People in here, appreciate you being on here in the live episode with us. In Bruins 1970, you are right. A Tuesday bender, because we're working hard all season long. Jesus Christ, we have 82 games.
Yeah,
we have a trip coming up.
Yeah,
we have weekly episodes.
Yeah,
I mean, we're humming it like 4 days a week doing this thing because of the condensed schedule. Like, we don't have a life to speak of.
No, we're battling our asses off here.
I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, this is no Thanksgiving break. This is no days off. This is Belichick, no days off.
Yeah, no days off.
Even though he takes days off now, but we don't.
No.
I mean, this is us getting
this fucking like a champion.
Yeah, play like a champion. That's right. Also, most teams have more games on us, says Dan Maynard. Excellent point. Unfortunately, we will drop quickly from here on despite their efforts. Look, it's happened 2 years in a row now. Where the condensed schedule and the Bruins get loaded up and they're 2 of the 3 games ahead of people, and that makes it difficult too. I don't know why the Bruins have been picked that way, but it has been, and they're constantly a couple of games ahead of everybody, and that makes it hard because now you got to go by percentage rather than point total and wins because they legitimately have played more games than everybody. DKJ Barry. Pred's looking for a first-round pick and an A-level prospect for Ryan O'Reilly. Just talked about this before the show.
Yeah.
Seriously, what is Zacha worth? Well, it makes you wonder. I don't think they're going to trade Zacha because I think Zacha fits. Connor disputes me. He thinks it's all a smokescreen. But I really think Sweeney likes Zacha and will extend Zacha.
I agree with you that he does like Zacha and extend Zacha. If he was smart, though, because of what we talked about with the direction of the team and how far off they probably really are, he should seriously entertain it. If he can get a first, he could get an A-level prospect from someone. I don't know who, but just as an example, we'll say like Matt Savoy from Edmonton. If you could trade him to Edmonton for a first and Matt Savoy, I think you seriously have to consider that.
I think you do. Because now you get double first picks again, and you're just putting yourself in a good position to get a good young talent that you haven't been able to get. Connor.
You would have 3 first-round picks in this upcoming draft if you were to start trading people for first this year, which would be even better.
Sure.
And so let's say next year, and you have 2 next year right now too.
2 next year, yeah. So I mean, you say right now they're saying that Stenberg is top.
Yeah.
I mean, those 3 guys are kind of battling for the top spot there. And then there's guys like Hextall's down toward the end of the first round.
They've also mentioned another defenseman, possibly.
There's another defenseman.
And Verhoff.
Yeah, there's another defenseman too. So it seems to be a pretty loaded draft. So I wouldn't be sad about 3 first-round picks in this draft.
No,
let's just get right at it. Just BC will just have everybody on the whole team will be first-round picks.
Give me 6 from the Maple Leafs. Give me 6 from Maple Leafs.
Yeah, I know, huh? I know, 6. Adrian, answer. Would the ideal situation for this season be a couple of guys play up their value and make some trades, sell at the deadline, or is this a fragile moment when the team needs a foundation of mid-tier guys? I'm telling you, Adrian, that I love your philosophy. Arvidsson and Middlestat play a little bit above, trade them, and you get something for them.
Yes.
I am fearful that they're going to, if these guys come back and still perform well, that they're going to be just close enough that they're going to try to make the playoffs, and they're going to miss an opportunity to trade off some guys. I want this deadline to be another 6 guys go, just like last year, 6 guys off the roster and get a bunch of assets in return like you did last year. That's how you get your prospect pool go, up and up and up, and you get a few more picks, and you get chances at a really good young player.
What do you got, Connor?
Do you think that this whole Beecher waiving debacle and not even trying to trade him was a little foreshadowing for what's going to happen the rest of the year?
Just waiving guys?
No, just absolutely no
forethought.
No due diligence. No nothing.
No nothing.
I think he's going to drag his feet, and he's going to not find the right deal for guys. He's going to have his Schmenza in his hand, and they're going to have the same team with maybe a right shot defensive depth guy that they pick up. Maybe they trade a guy, and that's it. I just think that they're going to, if they're in it, I'm really scared, because this is how you need to be savvy with this. Like, you need to almost risk losing a playoff spot that you probably won't attain anyway, but you risk that chance by looking ahead. Cam Neely has said with his mouth that he doesn't look ahead. He doesn't. He said that last year. He said, I don't look ahead. I worry about this team. So that tells you everything you need to know. I don't think they have the foresight to do that. And it scares me, because this is the way you get better later.
It should scare you if the team president's saying, I don't look ahead. It should scare you.
Yeah, that's just not good business
because
practice.
You wonder if he's hampering Sweeney, as much as we kill Sweeney about making moves, you wonder if he's the one that's putting the kibosh on things, saying, no, you're not trading Victor Arvidsson. He's scored 20 goals for us this year. You're not trading him. No.
Yeah.
And then he gets signed to an extension because they try to make the playoffs at a stupid number. And then you have a mid-30s guy, off of one decent
8 goals next year.
Yeah, playing for a contract. And he scored some goals, and then next year he's not playing for a contract anymore. And he's so I mean, it should scare the ever living shit out of you that Cam Neely's in charge of this team and is not looking forward beyond this year. that should scare the loving hell out of every single Bruins fan.
Look, the way you get better is you have young talent and you develop that young talent. It's the only way you can really get better, because other guys don't. You can't sign other guys. We've been through this 100 times. Like, you can't do that. So, and you need a top 3 overall pick like this. Like the last 16 years, like there's been 14 teams that won the cup that had a top 3 overall pick, and another team had a top 4. So essentially, top 4 picks that you draft. So if you don't take shots at that, then you're just not doing it right.
No.
And I'm really concerned. Like, you can get maybe, players you shouldn't get, good assets for. You might be able to do it this year because there's not a ton out there. So these middling guys might actually have more value. So strike while the iron's hot, baby. Yeah,
I mean, if everybody, if the free agent list is drying up, which it is, and you have some of these guys that have a great first half of the season, heading into the trade deadline, and they're free agents or restricted free, whatever. Like, those guys should be on the move from this.
They should
be on the move.
I mean, a Victor Arvidsson could help a Minnesota Wild on the third line.
Absolutely.
And banging a goal here or there and play like this pants are on fire. Like, fine. Casey Middlestat can dish to a couple of players who are pretty good, and maybe do some things, whatever. Like, it just, do it. Dan Maynard, I'd love to know what Sweens does all day other than sit with his finger up his ass. Not sure. I'm not sure. Actually, you know what he's doing? He's scouting Team Canada because he's never seen those players play. So he needs to get an up close and personal look.
Yeah, that's why he doesn't know about Geekie, because he's on the road watching the other guys.
This is what I don't understand about that whole thing. Why do you have to go on the road? You are a general manager in a league that has these players play every fucking night. You have to go scout them like they're junior fucking players. Like, you don't know what Sidney Crosby brings to the table. You don't know what Mark Scheifele brings to the table. How do you not know that? Like, why do you need to go scout that stuff?
Maybe he's got a mistress in every city.
Maybe. Let's start that rumor. That'll definitely get us banned, exiled.
Why else would he need to go on the road?
I don't know. Like, I don't get that whole thing. Like, why are you on the road? Why are you at the Panthers Kings game?
Say, give me the videotape for someone.
Right. Why are you at the Panthers game watching Sam Bennett? He's been fucking up your ass the last 3 years. You don't know what he brings to the table?
I mean, Jesus. I feel like
with your finger and Sam Bennett have been up your ass for 3 years. Oh God, Adrian answer. Something's funny with the Beecher thing. It really seems like they wanted him out. I don't think Sturm liked him. Or could Sweens actually be that stupid that he wouldn't think that someone would grab the kid? I think Sturm was like, get rid of this dude. He doesn't play hard, enough, not consistent enough, doesn't offer anything. He's not playing the style we want him to play. He skates real fast, but he does nothing else, which we know. And Sturm was finally like, dude, this guy,
Yeah, but Sweens could still say, look, give me a day. I'm going to make some calls.
I know. Give me, Nope.
I mean, you're the fucking general manager of the team, dude.
No, wait the
guy. Your coach. Yeah, I'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah. Wait till 2019
now. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah.
And we do appreciate the loyalty, Bruins 1970.
Yes,
so.
We do.
Appreciate the
loyalty, brother. How much of these solid trades do you think were all on Sweeney? He has such a shit history, and suddenly he's done great. I'm sure someone is whispering in his ear. Taylor Hall forced himself to come here.
Yeah.
Then he had Tyler Bertuzzi. But he gave away assets for those guys. But Bertuzzi was pretty good for them. They didn't win.
No.
Hampus Lindholm was a really good, trade. He's done, Coyle and Johansson that year were excellent trades.
Yeah.
That worked out, meshed well. So he does that thing where, add pieces. I think he's good at that. And I think he's confident in that. I don't think he knows how to rebuild a roster. I don't think he knows how to do that. I don't think he knows exactly what he wants, it's really hard to just kind of build a brand new roster. And I don't think he's, he fell into a team. Look, he got this job in 2015, They went to the Cup in 19. It was still a really good core here, when he got the job. So he can add pieces.
In 13, right? 2 years before
13, and then 19. Yeah.
I mean, they went to the Cup 2 years before he got the job.
Yeah. So that was a team that had some real good pieces.
Yes.
Go Connor.
One of the things that I did want to mention in this is when Sweeney took over, everybody dubbed him Donnie Deals and was, yanking him off under the table because he made those savvy trades to move on from Lucic
and Hamilton.
And then the Martin Jones flip to the Kings and ended up with the first round picks. And then where he took it and shoved it down his own throat was Donnie couldn't deal those 3 picks. And he wrote his own gravestone in Boston with that 2015 draft right after he started to write his.
Because I don't think he wanted to make those picks.
No, he wanted to move up for Hannafin, and he couldn't get him.
Couldn't get him. So then they, for whatever reason, didn't look at the sheet, didn't look at the central scouting sheet, and pick Zach Senyshyn. Like, if you're not prepared for the draft, are you going to take a flyer on Zach Senyshyn? I don't believe any of that. I don't believe it. Like, I don't believe they weren't prepared enough. You wouldn't take a flyer on a guy. If you're not prepared, wouldn't you go to Centrals and be like, we'll take Connor, Shabbat, Barzal?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you do that if you're not prepared?
If you're not prepared, you go to the next guy on the list and you make the pick. That's what you should have done if you weren't prepared. If you were huddling amongst yourselves on the fucking stage and you didn't have, all the information in front of you, don't you just say to the guy standing next to you, who's next on Central Scouting? We'll just pick him.
Yeah, pick him. Pick the guy.
Off the fucking board by 200 picks and take a random dude that sucks. You don't do that.
You had a crack at 3 guys right there. 3 times you had a crack at those guys. 3 times. And you've missed. And people were like, you got to get over it. Yeah, but it's a franchise altering move.
It is.
And what I would love to have seen is the cap gymnastics he would have to do when all those guys had to be re-upped. Like Connor, if he had Connor and fucking Shabbat and Barzal, like all the money, like what he would have had, would he have had to trade Krejci? Would Krejci be on the team longer? Because you have Barzal, like that would have changed a lot of things.
Yeah,
if those things were, do you move on from Chara sooner? Like who knows? Like if you have those three really good players, Adrian Unser, some of his trade package builds were pretty good, but hardly ever panned out long term. Wanda says, "What would you give to get Rasmus Anderson out of Calgary?" Not Riley Tufte. Jeffrey Viel. Here's the thing about Rasmus Anderson. I don't think he fits. He will not fit he's not a great defensive, physical defenseman. He
is the West Coast version of Mason Lohrei.
He is with better offensive skill, probably, or more production offensively.
Well, but he's opportunity probably
right. But he is not physical.
Nope.
No, I mean it's a reason why they want to get rid of him.
Look, I would take him, but I'm not giving up. I would take him, but I'm not giving up anything. To bring him here.
The only thing that's attractive is he's right shot, right?
I think.
So that's attractive right now because you suck right side.
Yeah.
The drafting is a whole different thing too, just atrocious, says Adrian. And also I do blame a lot of that on the scout and development team of old though. There were some real good old boy characters in the scout room for a while who cared more about the kid's story and family ties. Yeah, I mean, look, the Bruins are very incestuous with what they do. They keep it close. It almost feels like they're hiding something. Like whenever that happens, you almost feel like, what are you hiding? Like, why don't you get people from the outside? Like, it's just, right. That's why I'd love to see Geeks and Pasta on different lines. If we have a good setup guy from Morgan, like Minton as his center, disregard our preconceptions of Fraser's ceiling. Here's the thing about Minton. Doesn't produce. He's got 3 goals, 3 goals and 3 assists in 24 games. Like he's a 3rd line checking center right now.
Still young. I'll give him
he's young, but he's a 3rd line checking center. I don't think I think Lindholm, I think he's right. I think Smitty's right. I think Elias Lindholm is who you run with there because of what you're paying him and because there was some chemistry there. And there's really no other great option. So you play him there with those 2 guys and try to increase Lindholm's, production.
Well, he can actually win faceoffs, so you get the puck for your 2 best players. I mean, I don't think that's a bad thing.
No, he's 58%. I mean, he's a good face.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't offer anything else. So the least he can do is win the puck for your good players to actually, produce and score goals. So,
Sweens don't want him getting hurt. Bruins 1970.
Oh, maybe they're just talking about Geekie. Sweens doesn't want Geekie to get hurt.
Yeah, well, there you go. Geekie. I guess. Yeah.
That could be a reason.
Could be. Bruins 1970 also says, Matty, your picks would look a lot more educated if you had the glasses on. Smitty. Yeah. Smitty. Maybe I should squint more.
There we go.
Oh,
there you go.
Yeah, the glasses are very sophisticated.
See, but I can't see anything with them on.
You look like Bill Gates with your glasses on.
I need him to see distance.
Your wives must be pissed, says Bruins 1970. Well, I don't have one. The two I had. But Smitty has a good wife.
Maddie's wife, we're pissed. My wife puts up with me most of the time.
Yeah, I mean, it's what you want to put up with. I mean, Smitty picked a good one, and I'm a free agent.
He puts up with me.
Robert Forte. Zacha makes cheap money now and next year. They're miles away and should move him. But Sweeney is dying to give him an 8-year, $90 million deal with a full no trade clause. I feel like
he's going to get. I feel like he'll get a pretty good contract from whoever gives it to him next, and it may very well be a Boston Bruins.
But I'm with you.
If
centers are not available, and he's like one of the better. Who would you rather have, Zacha or Ryan O'Reilly? Right now,
at this point in time, Zacha.
Yeah, O'Reilly's.
Yeah, I think O'Reilly
is
a tougher. In the back in the day, was a tougher 200-foot player. Yeah. Could score, could hit, could
drag the Blues to a Stanley Cup.
Yeah, I mean, drag their ass. I mean, he could do a little bit of everything. But now, 6 years later, I think he's kind of washed.
I'd rather invest.
Zacha's still, productive player. He might not be the playoff performer that you'd like to see. I'd like to see him kind of turn into David Krejci come playoff time, where he's shooting a little bit more. And
right,
Krejci always did that, like all season long, pass. Come playoff time, he was fucking missiles.
I mean, he
everywhere.
Was good. David Krejci was good,
so good in the playoffs. Oh man,
yeah, he was clutch Krejci.
Yeah,
such a crucial opportunity makes hay with this year's draft, but they just want to squeak a playoff spot. Yes, Adrian, that's their MO. Like, the ownership is happy when they get a couple of ticket gates, and all that merchandise and money and stuff that comes in, extra games. I don't understand how you can run a business franchise and not look at the future of the team in order to make adjustments. It's just bonkers management, Dan Maynard. It is. Yeah. But they're sixth in the NHL in value.
Mm-hmm.
This thing fucking absolutely fucking ejaculates money. Like, it's just like crazy. Like, it's just nuts. They don't have to do the network. They put the games on the network. They don't give a shit. That's terrible. They jack up the prices, and those, Bruins fans that are loyal and half stupid come in every night and pay whatever, their whole paycheck, to go see the game and yell at the refs and, say hit them and shoot it and all this stuff. And that's what they do. And it's just, they take advantage of it. Charlie Jacobs told you in the preseason press conference, basically, that you're a fucking idiot, and said 90. Everything went up.
90% retention.
Yep, retained. Prices go up. He told you were a fool.
Yeah, I mean, they had one of the worst seasons in the history of the team.
Yes,
they raised ticket prices, and 98.7% of the fucking season ticket holders said, "Yep, sign me up."
With no first round, high, can't miss Tyler Seguin, no Joe Thornton, not even that. So what? And Pasternak's the draw, and that's about it. And does Higgins look like a top 7 player so far? Says Rainforest. Well, his line mates have been bad. BC's playing better. His line mates weren't great. he's really kind of carrying the load there. I think Higgins and Letourneau right now are playing pretty well. And look, I have my reservations about Higgins just because of his size. Now, someone like Celebrini and Bedard makes me feel better. But is he as dynamic as those guys? I don't know.
Well, I mean, if he wants to turn into Cole Caulfield, I'll be fine with that too.
Yeah, that's fine too.
Fucking 5'8" or whatever, but he can shoot the puck like a wizard. And Higgins, I mean, I don't know if you've seen some of the we try to post some clips to X and stuff when we get highlights of Higgins or Letourneau or whatever. Higgins has a pretty good 1-T from that right-hand circle.
He does. He does.
So I think he might be able to shoot the puck pretty well. And
if he can go 1-T there and Pastrnak goes 1-T on the other side, that's pretty good.
I mean, you're cooking with gas a little bit. It's not Sage Blumel over there.
Yeah. The problem is, can they coach him up and is he gonna have to be Bergeron and what's gonna happen there? Like, how do they want him to play? Are they gonna be scratching him at Providence because Mujanel can't stand him because he doesn't play defense? Like, is this gonna happen?
Right.
I don't know. Scenario question. You have to split Geeks and Pasta, says Dan. Who goes first, who goes second, and who gets paired with each line with them? Well, Geeks will go to the second line. Pasternak's the first liner. Yeah. I just don't know who's on that first line. When Lindholm is back now, I don't know who's on that first line other than Zacha. So maybe you go Geekie, Middlestat, Arvidsson, and you go Zacha up top.
You could do that.
Yeah.
If you had to split them up, that's probably what I would do. And
that's probably what I would
do. Lindholm, Pastrnak.
Yeah.
Because Zacha had a little bit of chemistry with Pastrnak in the past. Lindholm, doesn't have chemistry really with anyone. But he wins faceoff. So, that thing. And then, I think Middlestat could pass the puck some. So him between a couple of guys that want to shoot wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. So if you were splitting them up, that's the way I would go.
Yeah, and I would too. And Adrian says poor Fraser Minton isn't going to produce much with Tanner and Casty on his flank.
Give me a hell yeah.
and the problem, yes, but look, I mean, is Fraser Minton? I got to look at Fraser Minton's stats from history. He's projected as what he is. Like, that's his projection. I mean, do we want to speak it into existence that he's really a 60-point guy that is going to, turn into that when he plays with better players? I guess. I don't know. But it seems to me, though, watching him play, that he isn't, the high. I mean, look, he had Kamloops Blazers or whatever, 55 points in 67 games, 67 points in 57 games. He had 38 points in 36 games with Saskatoon. I mean, he's not blowing it out of the water. He had 13 points with the Toronto Marlies in 26 games. Like, and now he has 6 and 24. Like, I mean, it's not like he had 110 points in the OHL every season. I mean, Poitras had big numbers with Guelph, and Minton doesn't have those types of numbers. So I just don't know if is that really going to happen? Like, I think he's a third line center.
Yeah, I think he's a third line center,
and that's fine. Like, that's fine. Again, that's fine. You got a third line center that plays with us for the next 5, 6, 7 years for Brandon Carlo, whatever it was. Fine.
I think he's a younger version of Charlie Coyle.
Yes. I think that's a really good comparison. Now, does that get to 60 points like Charlie did? Maybe. When he starts to really figure out the game and stuff, maybe. A couple of players he has chemistry with, maybe.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, look, his numbers would go up if he was playing with better players. There's no doubt about that.
Oh, yeah. So
thank you.
Yeah.
No doubt about that. Is that what you wanted to add, Connor, or you got something else?
Well, essentially, yeah. Like, I mean, you just made the point about Charlie Coyle. Well, Charlie Coyle played really well and scored a shitload of points with a lot of better players on his wings. And I mean, Minton was one of the better players in the Toronto prospect pool before he got traded here. And prior to this season, he was one of the top prospects in the Bruins pool. And then all of a sudden, he plays with 2 fucking ogres on his wings and doesn't do so well, and he sucks. I don't buy it.
Well, but he's, as Robert Forte says, he's never been projected to be more than a checking third liner. he's never been projected to be a plus offensive player. Why? Like, I don't.
Morgan
Does that
Geekie
mean it's
was
gonna
not
happen?
even qualified as a restricted free
I
agent
was just going to
because
ask.
he was a third line player on other teams who got zero shot and produced nothing. And he came here and got an opportunity, played with better talent, and is producing a ton and has gone up and up and up. I'm essentially saying the same thing for Fraser Minton in a sense that we can't just play him with crappy players and then just say, oh, well, he was only supposed to be a third line center and he's just not that talented.
I would say, for me personally, I think his ceiling is a 2C. I think he could be a 2C for you because he's got the size. He wins faceoffs. Like, he's fucking responsible. And he plays. I think he can force turnovers. I think if he's playing with good players and he forces those turnovers and makes plays, those guys might be putting the puck in the net, and then the production's a little bit better than it is. Do I see him being anything more than a 50-ish point guy? No, I don't. I think that's probably what he's going to be. And do you want your 2C to be a 50-point guy? Not really.
No.
But I think he may be able to exceed that if he was playing with really good players. But I think it's unlikely. I think it's likely he's where he should be. Now, he could produce more. And he could be a really good 3C. Charlie Coyle was a really good 3C on a Stanley Cup contending team. I think Fraser Minton could be the same thing. But, he needs better players around him.
He needs
isn't it best?
Johansson.
What's that?
He needs his Marcus Johansson or his Taylor Hall.
I like Mojo. He's, I look. It isn't best case scenario. It's Hagens, Letourneau, Minton, somebody down the middle the next 7 years. That's best case scenario.
I mean, if you're doing 7 years, the best case scenario is Hagens, Letourneau, Elias, fucking Lindholm, and then Fraser Minton's your 4C.
Well, there's the other thing,
That's your best case scenario.
To me, I think that a couple of years from now, when Hagens is ready, Letourneau is ready, I think you consider trading Elias Lindholm, and you're going to have to eat some money probably. Sure. But you need to find a way to rid yourself of him in that deal if those guys are the players they are. Because those guys need to be playing center, need to be playing big minutes, and Elias Lindholm is going to be a fucking sore thumb out there by that time.
Yeah.
And you're going to find a way to get rid of him. Or you're going to have a $7 million fourth line center.
I 100% agree.
I mean, that's that,
And look, I believe right now that Hagens and Letourneau probably will end up being more talented than Fraser Minton is.
Yes. More talented, sure.
Offensively, more talented.
Right. Yes. So it's about efficiency, and if the way they like them to play and all that, scary about, because I don't know.
Well, Minton plays already. He plays already the way they want them.
Yeah, Hagens is.
That's why he's playing. That's why he's playing as a 22.
No, right. That's why, because in other teams he might be going back and forth to the AHL.
Yeah.
Because of the lack of that production. All right, beauty for this week. The aforementioned Morgan Geekie. Hold on. I'll find it. Don't worry. Okay.
I love you. Eh? They're going to be loving you from dawn until
they
dawn.
are. I mean, it was a lot of anticipation there, and we created that buzz.
Build up. It's a build up.
The build up.
Only one scoring right there, baby.
Yeah. Only one scoring, tied for the league in goals with 17. I mean, pretty much the only one deserving of the beauty right now.
Yeah, that was a pretty easy one.
Yeah.
Bender, we'll go with are we doing Nesson? Are we doing Nesson? Can we do Nesson for everything? The fucking shitty.
No, that's the down. That's the first down.
Oh, that's the first down.
Do you want me to give you my fill-in? I saw that it was empty, and I gave you a fill-in.
Oh, you did?
For the last time ever.
For the last time. Yeah.
Mr. Johnny Beecher.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah.
The last time.
Do it. Beach.
Yeah. Bender.
Yeah.
Hey, how about this? And I'm serious when I say this. Do we consider changing this to the Beecher Award now that he's gone? Do we
the Beecher?
Yeah, do we kick it up a notch, say we can't give it to him? So now it's the Beecher. It's not the Bender, it's the Beecher.
I'd be fine with that.
I think we might. I think we have to, just like Bergeron should be the Selke guy now, the Bergeron Award. It's Beecher, the Beecher of this week.
I mean, to be fair, Donnie was listening to the program early this season and listening how Smitty was foreshadowing he was going to give Beecher this award every single week. So they refused to play him and then waived him. So Smitty could never have the excuse.
Yeah,
Right.
he's keeping him off my.
He was like, we got to get rid of this guy. And Marco's like, no shit. I could have told you that a month ago.
I think Marco listens to the show.
I
think he
All
does.
right. I think sometimes it's kind of weird. It's coincidental, but it's kind of weird. You think somebody is.
So I think they do from time to time.
I think they do. They know what we're doing. All right, we're gonna do a new little segment called On a Bender. Okay, I'm gonna give Smitty 10 rapid fire questions.
Okay, let's do
that
this.
He needs to do as quick as a cat.
And just so you all know, I have no idea what these questions are.
No idea what the questions are. They're my own, and I huddled them like a fucking
Can we get
baby.
60 seconds on the clock, please?
Yeah, there's 60 seconds on the clock.
60 seconds on the clock on my end.
It's like the $25,000 pyramid. And go. If you were a GM and the league was redrafting, who was your first pick?
Nathan McKinnon.
Okay. Who is your sleeper pick this year to win the cup?
Sleeper, Dallas Stars.
Okay. Who wins the Olympic gold this February?
Team USA.
Okay. Name 3 players you would trade David Pastrnak for.
McKinnon.
30 seconds.
Draisaitl, McDavid, I guess.
Okay. Give me a defenseman and a forward you would want on the Bruins. You can't pick an Av or an Oiler.
Fuck you. You're gonna say Cale Makar.
Oh, he swore, did he?
10 seconds.
Quinn Hughes.
5, 4, 3.
Oh, and a
2,
forward.
1.
Austin Matthews.
That's okay. Who sucks more? Marcus Foligno, 22 games, 2 points, or Frank Vetrano, 24 games, 3 points?
We'll go with Frank Vetrano because he's from here.
Who has played the most games in the league with 0 points so far?
John Beecher.
Garnett Hathaway, 20 games.
Wow.
0-0-0. Who has the most saves in the league right now?
Most saves. Sway.
Dustin Wolf.
Oh,
Who has given up the most goals in the league?
Talk about overtime.
Calgary.
Dustin Wolf. He has the most saves and also given up the most goals.
Wow.
Who is the Masters front runner right now in the NHL? Worst plus minus.
It's got to be someone on Calgary. Rasmus Anderson.
Man, Mackenzie Weegar.
Oh, same team though. I was right there.
Well done. Yeah, that was a fun little game.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
We're going to have to make it 2 minutes though next time.
Yeah, next time we'll go 2 minutes. The 2-minute drill.
Some of those questions were a little long-winded. That's what
that had nothing to fucking do with it. He was 4 questions in.
It was name 3 and he was like,
Almighty. Yeah, the Quinn Hughes and Quinn Hughes. I thought you would say Boldy. I really did. I thought you were all over Boldy, but
as a forward?
Yeah. Thought you said Boldy, but Matthews can't go wrong there, I guess. All right, so wrapping up.
Yeah,
we got tomorrow night, New York Islanders, 7 p.m. start. Last game of the trip. And we've talked about it before. We both see a loss in this one. Islanders are going to be ready to go.
Yeah,
Zadorov, Schaefer thing.
Mm-hmm.
The Bruins have had a couple of nights off, which has been helpful, but the Islanders haven't really played either. So this is going to be, it could be a sneaky little chippy.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a grudge match. I think it's going to be some chippiness in this one. I think you will see at least one fight in this game, maybe 2.
I think so. I think someone will answer to Zadorov, and they'll want him to go. I think.
Yeah.
And Adrian says 4-2 loss. I think that's kind of where we were. It's in that range.
I think they won't score that many goals.
Yeah, I don't know. This is going to be a drought coming up. Pastrnak, I think I had 4-1, and Pastrnak had a goal because he hasn't scored in a bit.
I think I said 3-0.
Yeah. Yeah, 5-7 on the road. So we'll see everybody again tomorrow night after Bruins Isles. Thanks so much for joining us on the live episode tonight. Great comments. And until tomorrow night, as always, good night.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.